Hey there everyone, Addicted to Nature with a very exciting video for you today. I'm going to be talking about 3 different foreground plants. Beginner friendly, easy to use, doesn't mean that they're only for beginners, right? And first thing about this is I want to show you guys what I'm lighting this video with. Let me turn the camera around. These are my Phoenix Stingray lights. I have them angled towards me so we get really good lighting, and you guys can also see that pimple on my head. All right, the second thing is with these plants, you're not gonna need CO2. So people ask, do I need CO2 to keep these plants alive? The answer is no. CO2 will help them grow faster and bigger, but it is not required for growth. All right, and then the third thing is, well, I forgot which number I'm on. Anyways, is that you are not going to hear me talk about Java moss in this video because everyone's using them. Everyone's beginner, expert, whatever. Everyone needs Java moss in some way, shape, or form. It's been done before. It's been talked about. We're not going to talk about Java moss. We're not going to be talking about Java ferns or Amazon swords because they're not. They've been done before. They're not, foreground plants, right? So hopefully these ones are things that you might not have seen your first time around. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about was, I don't remember, so let's just get started. And then the first plant that I wanted to show you is Staghorn Algae. I'm just kidding, guys. The first plant is S. repens, Staurogyne repens, and this plant is my all-time favorite plant. You can use this plant to carpet. You can use this plant for foreground accents. This plant will not die on me. I have this in the high-ground plant, high-tech plant tank, which is this one, as well as the non-high-tech plant. And both survive. The leaf size is about an inch or so. A little bit more than an inch for very mature leaves like this one right here on the bottom left. But this is a stem plant, which means that it's got the stem, node, stem, nose, stem, node. You can cut off pretty much anything above this part and then replant it, and then it'll grow again, and then you cut it off, and then you replant it, cut off, replant, and you keep the bottom where it is, and then pretty soon you'll have a whole thriving colony of little baby S. repens that are now grown up. And then the cool thing about this plant is you can actually get the algae out of my sight. I need to do a clean tank, but I wanted to grow these out for you to see. The cool thing about these plants is they don't need to be kept in the soil. Look at that. I don't have soil down here. It's actually just growing roots in the air, and it's fine. Same thing with this S. repens up top. This S. repens is not in soil, and it's just growing leaves and roots, and is doing completely fine. I've even got some S. repens here as a floater in my tank of neglect, aka my low-tech. It's not even got a light on it. But it's doing fine. They're growing roots. These guys have been here for over a month and they're still alive. Awesome. We even got some more down here. Don't worry about that. An Amazon sword in the background. I'm trying to convert it into the Madagascar lace. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Don't try to do that. Anyways, this guy's looking like he needs a little bit of love, but we'll just give him some later. And these guys are in the substrate, and there's doing pretty much the same as the floaters, which tells me that I'm doing something right. And the second thing is going to be flame moss. Take a look at this type of moss. It's not Java moss, it's flame moss. And flame moss runs like a flame and it goes straight up, just like this. Take a look at that awesome looking moss. Java moss, here, take a look at that. It goes everywhere. It's running crazy. It runs to the side. Flame moss it's much more educated, much more non-ADHD cousin. So why do I say flame moss? Because flame moss can be trimmed and it looks amazing as a carpet. It looks amazing as a bush So it will be something that you want to put at the front, right? Flame moss, flame moss, flame moss. And take a look at this footage. This is footage from a Taiwanese pet store. Looking in the back, we see a whole lot of flame moss right there. And there, look how tall it grows. It looks like an actual bush. And same thing with this one here. So this is another way to use flame moss. You just have to trim it really well. And these guys don't have CO2 and they're growing just fine. Much like S. repens, flame moss does not need very high light. It will grow upwards regardless of where or what situation it is. So if you keep tumbling your flame moss, it actually grows in crazy places because it's always growing upwards. Flame moss also doesn't need CO2. It's fine without CO2 and it's just gonna grow a little bit slower. All right, there's really not much to talk about with this plant. It's just a very easy plant to grow and it looks amazing. You can put this, oh yeah, let's talk about where you can put it. You can put it anywhere in your tank. You can put it as a carpet. Don't worry about that baby tier carpet over here. Put it as a carpet in the front. You can just put some grill or steel mesh on it, and it will just grow up, and then pretty soon it'll cover these steel mesh and you will be fine. Or you can put it on top of rocks like I have here, and it will look amazing. It will look like your rock has hair. It looks like a little bush. All right, moving on to the third plant. That, friends, is the friendly Anubias Nana petite. It is right next to my S. repens and all that staghorn that I need to get rid of. And it is this plant here. It is a foreground plant because it only ever gets about that big. It's about, I think that's like 2 inches at most. But it's a sideways grower, so it will grow sideways. Take a look at, this is Anubias Nana, not Nana petite, and that's how big this is. And then Anubias Nana petite is down here. So it's very, very small compared to the Nana. But it grows the exact same way. You don't want to put this one in the substrate. Anubias Nana petite does not go in the substrate. It goes on your wood. It can go on your rock. It can go on your filter. Literally just put it on use a little bit of super glue, put it on your filter, and no one will ever see your filter ever again. No one will ever call it ugly. No one will ever ask you to get a canister filter instead of a hang-on back. Oh my God, this is Bacopa carolinea, and it's looking a little bit crazy, and it needs to be trimmed because it's about to overtake the top of my tank. It's arcing towards me. It's this big stem plant here, not the red one, the sort of greenish one here. And it is very, very in need of a trim. Oh my God. All right, guys. So that's about it for this one. My favorite one is the S. repens, and then after that, actually I would say I like the Anubias Nana petite a little bit more than the flame moss. Flame moss just looks so cool. Like, look, it looks like hair, it looks like flames. Alright guys, so if you like this video, feel free to give me a like and subscribe. If you have any questions about the plants that you see in this video, it doesn't matter if it's the 3 that I talked about, give me a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer it for you. So stay tuned for the next video on mid-ground plants. Somebody dropped something back there, but on beginner-friendly mid-ground plants. Yeah, I think that's what I'll call it.